Xenogenders, trans sports bans, and apparently Ben Shapiro reads. All that and more right now on the Frogcast. Welcome, everybody, to the inaugural episode of the Frogcast. I'm Nelly Rockwell.
And I am Squirrel.
So let's start this off with our segment, our Wholesome Hour. Let's look at some things that we find funny.
And in the most wholesome of news, Tucker Carlson gets called a dick. I think that's pretty wholesome.
Yeah, that's one of the best things ever. So yeah, a man in a Montana fishing shop, a fucking Bass Pro Shop, confronted Tucker, and called him, quote, the worst. I'm sorry, I'm looking off at the notes we have here. You are the worst human being, is what he told Tucker Carlson.
You already
Tucker
know
Carlson
right after this, when Tucker Carlson went home, that he cried while jerking himself off in the mirror.
Yeah. He does. Well, Tucker does that every night, but
yeah, but he shed a little tear that time when going home.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson actually responded by calling the man son, even though the man looks older and much more like a Chad than Tucker Carlson, because Tucker Carlson has resting virgin face.
I'm pretty Tucker. I'm looking at a picture of Tucker Carlson right now. His face, like his head, he's kind of built like Peter Griffin. Like, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's not a joke. In fact, for the beautiful people watching this, or just for them, I really hope that whether it's myself later or Cherry, who should be on this show in a future episode, who helps edit these, can put up a picture of Tucker Carlson and contrast that with Mr. Griffin.
It's just gonna be the same picture, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, Tucker Carlson. I'm sorry, I like this story a bit too much. Thing is, Tucker Carlson got told what everyone wants to tell Tucker Carlson, that he is an awful piece of shit. I think we would have all used more choice language to describe Tucker Carlson, but you are the worst human being.
Heat of the moment, you gotta get out short and sweet. You gotta get it out short, because he's just gonna walk away like a coward.
Yeah.
Which he actually did.
I do have to ask you, what actual words would you use if you met Tucker Carlson?
If I met Tucker Carlson, I feel like I kind of like get off like, oh, hey, it's Tucker Carlson. I kind of, get him approach and then be like, hey, it's him. You're the biggest piece of shit ever, dude. Like, honestly, go fucking kill yourself.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson is just an awful human being. I would say he's the worst. And when Steven Crowder dies, he probably will be the worst.
Yep. Tucker Carlson is a fucking awful human being. In other news, the sun is big.
Yeah. But in actual other news, Jamie Lee Curtis, who is known for such things as nothing except the yogurt commercial, if you ever wanted Activia, I for some reason, I loved the Activia commercials as a kid, and I wanted to eat Activia, and now I realize that it's not good.
I know Jamie Lee Curtis for making this film about a woman who stands for absent moms at gay weddings, and absolutely nothing else, because I've never heard of this.
Yeah, well, one, that segue was absolutely awful, and two, but yeah, so Jamie Lee Curtis is making a film about an Oklahoma woman who stands in for people's mothers at gay weddings. And frankly, shame on society for causing that to exist.
I think that's an actual thing, though, that people do. Because, people don't like LGBT people. They don't like us because they're stupid books.
I mean, if they did, this show wouldn't need to exist.
Yeah, so. Exactly. And it shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know why.
We're dumb. We're dumb, and so are all of our other teammates. But yeah, Jamie, I think this film will be good. I'm not going to watch it. I'm just...
Yeah, I'm gonna forget about it probably an hour after we end this segment.
Yeah, right after we end the Wholesome Hour segment here, it's just gonna be down the drain.
Yeah.
In my mind. But
I can barely remember my own name half the time.
Yep, wonderful. Let's if we look at this more here, and I hope we can get it up on the screen. Yeah. So Sarah Cunningham is a woman in Oklahoma who stands in for people's mothers if they're not accepting at gay weddings, and Jamie Lee Curtis, who happens to look a bit like her. If we can get an image of them both once this hits YouTube, um, is just gonna make a movie about her.
Yeah.
I think her child. I think I read somewhere that her child came out as trans or NB or something like that. But you know, whatever the case, Jamie Lee Curtis is making this movie. Uh,
Honestly,
nobody
in
is
my
gonna watch
opinion,
it. Like no one's gonna watch it.
nobody's gonna watch it. It's probably gonna be like the most forced gay shit ever. That's
Yeah,
probably what it's gonna be.
it's like yeah, no one's gonna watch this movie. The message is probably good. The message is probably going to be good of this movie, but I don't really think anyone's going to watch it. I don't think anyone's going to care. And because no one watches this show, I don't think anyone is going to watch it because of this show. So let's just move on from that because that doesn't look like it's going to be.
Speaking of people criticizing gay people, top Catholic priest resigns after phone data tracked him to Grindr. One of the biggest hypocrites on this side of the Mississippi.
Yeah, so this is a really interesting story. This is in the United States, by the way. This isn't off in the Vatican or in Italy. This is in America. A church official had to resign, or wanted to resign, because phone data linked him to Grindr. Now I have to. There are many questions to go into do with this story, and I'm going to look at it a bit more here. But I have to ask you, do you think the priest was a top or a bottom?
Ooh, I'm looking at him right now. Definitely a bottom. He does not have the confidence to be a top.
Yeah, I don't really think any Catholic priests have the confidence necessary
to
be a top.
I'm sure they top the little children.
What did he say?
The little boys, but they don't top.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. But yeah, apparently he was the top administrator of one of these Catholic organizations, and has since again resigned as the top administrator.
And now he's the bottom administrator to somebody's dick.
Well, that was before he resigned. We don't know if that's still going on.
Before, after, and during.
We'll have to get back to. We'll have to get back to the beautiful people on that. Next up. New Zealand. This is actually wholesome. Everything else in this segment is kind of making fun of people.
What do you mean? The Jamie Lee Curtis and the Tucker Carlson was wholesome.
That one was actually wholesome. Yeah, but for everyone out in the Pacific, New Zealand has introduced a bill to outlaw gay conversion therapy, something the United States, hasn't done. So good on New Zealand for outlawing rape and torture. Congratulations, guys.
Woo, they finally did it. Only took like a couple thousand years of human history. But guys, we are one step closer to recognizing gay people as human beings.
Yeah. So progressive. But yes, so it looks like, yes, the Justice Minister of New Zealand, I don't know what that is, I'm American, but the Justice Minister said conversion practices have no place in modern New Zealand. They are based on the false belief that any person's sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression is broken and in need of fixing. That, I think, is very nice. A nice quote here.
Well, one group of people whose sexual identity is broken are pedophiles. I think we can all agree on
yes,
that.
Of course. Pedophiles, zoophiles, necrophiles. None of you are welcome here on the Frogcast, and frankly, none of you are welcome here on Earth. So,
I don't think the Martians want them either.
Yeah, just blast them all into fucking space.
Send them to Venus. Maybe the volcanoes there will want them.
Yeah, maybe the fucking poisonous gas in the clouds will do the trick. But yeah, I genuinely think this is a really good move. I really hope here in the West we take some inspiration from this. I know here in the United States, our House of Representatives passed the Equality Act a couple months ago, but that's still awaiting.
Yeah, our House of Representatives is kind of chill, but everybody in this, pretty much everybody in the Senate is fucking homophobic, so it's never gonna pass.
Actually, one key swing vote on that matter. Joe Manchin, Democratic senator from West Virginia, basically said that he doesn't think it's good for West Virginians and West Virginian businesses to have this Equality Act. So he's just gonna not support it.
Because if they have an Equality Act, who are they gonna discriminate against now?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
and
also
from a guy coming from Virginia, trust me, West Virginia, we don't want you either.
Yeah. You left 150 years ago, and no one from Virginia wants you back.
Exactly.
But yeah, actually, West Virginia is, I think, the state that people are leaving at the highest rate. So that's nice.
I can see.
For West Virginia.
What do they have except for bigots and coal? And coal is fucking dying either way.
Yeah, West Virginia. Anyways, fuck West Virginia. Unless you watch this show, then you're cool from West Virginia.
You're turning into a politician, Nelly.
That's my end goal. But yeah, this policy in New Zealand, this is great. I'm fairly sure New Zealand's parliament is quite progressive, so I'm almost certain this will pass, and that'll be great. And
I thought didn't it already pass? Oh no, they introduced the bill.
Yeah, it was legislation that was introduced, but I hope it'll pass through parliament. I don't know how the legislative system works over there, but hope it passes. Hope we here in the West get something like it. And I think that is it on this segment. Yep, on the Wholesome Hour segment. Now we got a little point of discussion where we can just talk and Google and look at things.
Yep.
So, what's the deal with what's the deal with Xenogenders? Xenogenders and neopronouns. Well, let's look up what they are. Let's look at what they are, because we can do this.
I have no idea. You probably know more than I do on those.
I know a little bit because I also spend my time with terminally online gay people. But so apparently, from the LGBTA Wikia, which is something that exists, a xenogender is an umbrella term for non-binary gender identities that cannot fully be described to their relation to concepts typically used, such as masculinity, femininity, androgyny, neutrality, agender, whatever the fuck that means, and whatever the fuck that means. So basically, it says that xenogenders best relate to how they relate with objects, as opposed to traditional definitions of gender. And I'm gonna be real. This sounds stupid.
Yeah, it sounds pretty stupid. Like
we'll get to the neopronouns. We'll get to the neopronouns debate in a second. But this sounds dumb. It sounds pretty dumb.
Hey guys, guys, please call me Tree because I relate to a tree.
Yeah, like thing is, I hate to sound like a conservative here, but this is the attack helicopter meme.
Yeah, this is literally like I'm pretty sure like this probably originated on like 4chan, like many else, and just got carried way too far.
I'm not sure this is real. Like this just seems like the attack helicopter meme.
Yeah.
But different, because
it seems like the attack helicopter meme, but like people are using it unironically.
Yeah,
so
and it's
shit.
And I'm not gonna shit on non-binary people because they're a disproportionate amount of non-binary
people are actually valid. They actually have something going. Like non-binary people deserve our respect, but this is gender shit. I just don't know what's going on. I don't know the deal with it.
This looks kind of dumb.
This looks kind of dumb because it probably is.
But
and again, I don't know the full story about xenogenders. This is just from what you're telling me and from what I've gathered. So if there's more to it that we're not getting, and it's not dumb.
Also, if you think
cancel us.
Also, if you think we should be canceled or be should be blacklisted or whatever, please put it in the comments. It boosts engagement.
Exactly. Please, if you think that we should be canceled, then make sure to subscribe, like the video, and put a very lengthy comment. And also, watch the entire video all the way through.
Yeah, if you think we should be canceled, just watch the rest of this episode all the way through to watch the rest of our bad takes and leave a bunch of comments telling us why we're wrong. It boosts
Facts.
engagements and watch time. So, but this another thing I have. So, is this just giving conservatives like fuel?
Yeah, it definitely is just giving conservatives fuel.
Because now someone can say attack helicopter.
They love to nitpick what the bad things and then use it to describe the whole. So definitely the xenogender shit is giving them the little thing to nitpick.
Because thing is, like, and I'd say I'm fairly progressive on this issue. I mean, I think non-dysphoric trans people are valid. I think trans people who don't get surgeries are valid. I think non-binary people are valid. But like, this shit thing is, it doesn't relate to gender.
Yeah.
Because it says it doesn't relate to traditional concepts of gender. No, it doesn't relate to gender.
Yeah.
It cannot be assigned as a percentage of masculinity, femininity, or androgyny. Then it's not a gender.
Masculinity and femininity and androgyny is literally describing the entire goddamn spectrum, pretty much.
Yeah, thing is, gender is a gender's a spectrum. It's not it's not a fucking spheroid. Like
the people like you have like your gender spectrum, and then you have the people like just outside of it. Apparently, like you have your stupidity spectrum, and then you have Fox News outside of it as well.
Yeah. Oh shit! What the hell is anthrogender?
Anthrogender?
What the fuck? That sounds like an animal gender, but
dude, that literally sounds like an era in time, like the Anthropocene or the Jurassic, bro. The anthrogender.
Yeah. Well, it refers to humans. So an anthrogender refers to any gender that is not a xenogender. So those are the actual fucking genders.
Okay. Big words confuse American.
So the anthrogenders are the real ones. Xenogenders
are the fake ones.
Just seem xenogenders.
It's like those white girls who identify as LGBT to get extra attention.
Yeah, and this is a reactionary talking point, and I usually don't believe this is true, but this xenogender shit. I mean, do what you want. You have the freedom to do what you want. It's free country and all, at least here in America. But just why?
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 Yeah, like why do you?
Why?
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 This because all this does, the xenogenders, is make it difficult to radicalize people, make it difficult to push people left. It makes it difficult to make people conservative.
We don't want to radicalize people. We want to just get them to recognize other people as human beings. That's not radical.
Radicalizing people to the left is is a good thing in my opinion.
Well,
but
it depends on what kind of if you're radicalizing them like radical. That's not
radical just means anything that is currently outside the Overton window, and like my political beliefs are currently sit far to the left of the American Overton window, so I'd say that's radicalizing.
Yeah, I guess.
But it makes it harder. I'll put it a better way. It makes it way more difficult to get people out of a homophobic mindset, because then you can just look and say, I'm fine with the queers, but that crazy gender shit, my child ain't gonna be part of that. And that goes into, I mean, I think we need to be very careful with what we put out into the world, just so we seem better to help progress. And that's why, actually, this isn't in our little notes here, but something I wanted to talk about was the, you see the Will Convert Your Children music video?
Oh, yeah.
So I personally found that very funny, and I found the conservative seething very funny.
Yeah.
And then I realized, this was dumb. You shouldn't have put this out there. You shouldn't have put it out there, because even if Ben Shapiro and Michael J. Knowles and everyone else in the intellectual dark web doesn't like, is that satire blind?
Hmm?
You still gave them a free opportunity to get their points in, and you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but nobody actually thinks that that's real. Like, I know those people are dumb, but they can't be that dumb.
Well, the thing is, I genuinely think, well, half the comments on the re-uploaded version, because it was taken down from the San Francisco Game Inquirer,
Of course.
but the re-uploaded version, 95% of the comments are people who clearly didn't listen to the lyrics of the song. So if we pull up the lyrics here, let me pull up the lyrics. Um, because the lyrics of the song are converting your children into being accepting people. So if we look at this is on Genius. So it says, yeah, we'll convert your children. We'll make them tolerant, and fair. And then later it says they'll go at night to protest, and that you've kept information away from them, which is all 100% true, along with some things that are funny, including the sentence Gen Z is grayer than Grinder, which is 100% true, um, as evidenced by this very show.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so, and someone's got to teach them not to hate, etc., etc. So if you actually listen more than 20 seconds into this song, it becomes abundantly clear that it's not about making your children gay, it's about making your children accepting and all around decent human beings.
Yeah, but the people on the right are not decent human beings, so they don't like that.
Yeah, so they don't get it. So Ben Shapiro had some things to say.
Oh. God.
Let me pull up the transcript here because I don't want to have to play Ben Shapiro. We're not going to give him any airtime, but I do want to look at some of the things he said just because I think it'll be interesting to look at. So let's look. Ben Shapiro. I'm going to ruin my my recommended feed here.
You're gonna get recommended like Fox News.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro destroys 3-year-old with facts and logic.
Yes. Actually, fun fact: in the pre-production phase of this show, even a couple days ago, when we had a team meeting, we proposed just doing that, just going to preschools and then saying we destroyed second graders with facts and logic.
Yeah, I bet you I could have won an argument against 500,000 babies.
Yep, 100%. We just build careers about being reactionary towards 7-year-olds.
Exactly. And then as we get older, we also work our way up the age scale until we become Ben Shapiro.
Yep. And then we can officially kill Ben Shapiro in Minecraft.
No. See, here's the plan. We get our way up there. Then we actually meet Ben Shapiro in a private meeting in person. Then we stage a kidnapping.
Oh, shut up. Stop playing. Okay. But I'm sorry. The Ben Shapiro tab played. I need to mute this damn tab. But
nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear a little rat
nobody wants
around.
to hear Ben Shapiro's. No one wants to hear our voices either. But Ben Shapiro is slightly worse.
Only slightly.
Yeah. Actually, just while we're on the news, because we kind of got over the Xenogenders, and we can just transition into the what the fuck is going on segment, which we'll look at in a second. But did you hear about Charlie Kirk's completely unhinged rant about Simone Biles?
Oh, I heard about it, but I haven't actually heard it,
So we're not gonna play it because, frankly, I think that format would be wrong. We just don't want to play it here, and it'd be difficult. But yeah. So this is from Salon.com. I don't know what that is, but it's about Charlie Kirk's little fucking temper tantrum. Yes, and it says the conservative activist blasted the 4-time Olympic gold medalist. I love that sentence. I love that phrase. the conservative activist blasted the 4-time Olympic gold medalist.
I thought Simone won more gold medals.
Oh, that's Olympics. She has like 28 gold medals overall, but that's just Olympics. Yeah, he described her as a selfish sociopath and a shame to the country.
Jesus
Now,
Christ.
Charlie, listen to me. Charlie, I know you're watching this. I know you're listening.
No, he's not.
Charlie, here's the thing. You don't know what sociopath means. That's a
Yeah.
medical term, and you don't know what it means.
I mean,
at all.
no. He does know what sociopath means. He has a mirror, doesn't he?
That's true. Let's see if this is gonna play here.
So Simone Biles, who's obviously a very talented gymnast, decided not to compete.
Okay, I'm not gonna listen to this because Charlie Kirk's face is too small and voice is too bad. But, but oh, and also because I want to plug for someone infinitely larger than me. Please watch the oh, this probably won't be up by then, but go watch the Vosh versus Charlie Kirk debate. It'll be funny. But yeah, so he just you know what it is actually? It's the fact that conservatives have for decades now made careers out of belittling the achievements of people of color. So, oh, Simone Biles' mental health problems? Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, put it on the air.
So Simone Biles not opting in is complete, because if you see Jim actually perform, that's fucking dangerous. And you see the reports
if
of
you're not
how the body moves during those, dude. That is fucking, dude. That takes some balls of steel to every single gymnast. Dude.
Yeah, and if you
look at these,
and if you're not on your game.
You're
in
dead.
Doing gymnastics, you could break something. You could break your neck. You could break your. There was a Soviet athlete who got pushed too far and broke her neck and passed away in 2006, unfortunately. So you have to be really careful with these things. And frankly, Charlie Kirk doesn't even care about that shit.
Yeah.
Because Charlie Kirk is dumb, and he the best part is he described the Russian athletes as being 4'11" to say they were weak and short or whatever. Simone Biles is 4'8".
Yeah.
So he clearly knows nothing about gymnastics, and doesn't care.
He doesn't care. All he cares about is some stupid. I don't even know. He just cares about degrading people of color. That's what it boils down to.
And Pierre and Piers Morgan. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Piers Morgan. Also had something to say, saying, "Are mental health issues now the go-to excuse for any poor performance in an elite sport?"
Poor performance by wow. The 4-time Olympian gold medalist.
Apparently he was shitting on. No, apparently he was shitting on Naomi Osaka too, but that's equally stupid.
Bruh.
Because thing is, I hope Piers Morgan and Charlie Kirk both know that Naomi Osaka and Simone Biles could turn them into bloody pulps.
Yeah.
Before they finished their unhinged raps.
$1 million idea. $1 million. So how Logan Paul has been fighting? How about we get Piers Morgan and Charlie Kirk to box Simone Biles and that what was the other gymnast that you said?
Naomi Osaka.
Yeah, Naomi Osaka, dude. I guarantee it, dude. It would be so fun to watch Charlie Kirk and Piers Morgan get their absolute asses handed by somebody who's half their height, bro. It'd be so funny.
Yeah, the thing is, after getting beat up so much, I don't think Charlie Kirk's face can shrink anymore. So I think you would just create a black hole where his head used to be.
Exactly. Then we don't have to hear him anymore.
No, we don't. We really don't. But yeah. But let's get into some of these other, what the fucks. Let's look at John Dillermand first. Actually, I can't open that video here. But
Dillermand.
Yeah, John Dillermand. Did you look that up? Did you? Because I told you before we started to look that up. Did you look it up?
I forgot.
Of course you fucking did. But
okay.
Let's look at John Dillermand. Let's look it on Wikipedia. I'm going to attempt. You may have heard of it by now, but I'm going to attempt to read the first Wikipedia segment without laughing.
Okay.
John Dillermand is a Danish stop-motion animated children's television series about a man and his very long penis. It premiered on January 3rd, 2021 on DR Ramasyang.
Okay,
Which is...
I'm going to try to read the premise without laughing, okay? John Dillermand is a middle-aged man who wears a red and white striped bathing costume. He has a penis that can extend to lengths of a couple dozen meters.
Yeah, let's stop there before we violate YouTube TOS, okay?
Oh yeah, and this was also a series aimed at 4 to 8-year-olds.
FBI, open up!
Okay, now let's think about it. Now, here in the United States, we have a weird culture surrounding sex and sex organs. We are both Don't say anything. Don't violate YouTube TOS. We are both hypersexualized and incredibly sex negative, and it's funny. It's really weird. And I don't think it's good. I actually think this is interesting because it's just a part of the body. When you detach it from everything else, of course. I mean, this show is called the Frogcast, and its description is clear teenagers.
When you detach it from the rest of the body, it becomes a dildo.
Yeah, no, when you... Let's see. But yeah, so the Danish people said that it was as desexualized as possible.
Yeah, it was made for 8-year-olds. I hope it wasn't too soon.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Feminists, for the most part, are great, excluding TERFs and SWERFs and whatnot. But someone said it normalizes locker room culture, which has been used to excuse a lot of bad behavior from men. It doesn't, though. What the show actually does is, in the same way there are shows about characters with crazy, extreme, long arms and that are crazy, super tall. It's just a different feature, and I think it would be interesting and perhaps, in my opinion, useful to our culture if we stopped putting such an undue burden onto this one part of the body. I think if we had our culture... It's weird. It's obviously weird, especially to us here in the West. But I think if our culture stopped being so weirdly prudish, it could be an interesting concept. I still personally think it's weird. I assure you, my siblings will not be learning Danish from that, but, you know.
Just show them the show and be like, now you learn Danish!
Yeah, this is how you... And then when they are old, they're going to be like, hey, how did I learn Danish? And I'm be like, don't ask.
I showed you a couple episodes of some guy with a giant dick.
Yep. Beautiful. Just beautiful here. But yeah, I think this show is really weird. But, I mean, here in the West, we have anthropomorphic trains. Like...
Hey, don't you dare diss my man Thomas. Okay?
No, Thomas was shit. Thomas and Friends was absolute ass.
I ain't taking this slander. Okay, we are not dissing Thomas today.
No, Thomas was bad. I didn't like Thomas.
Oh my god. He had a movie with Alec Baldwin in it, okay?
That makes it somehow worse.
Okay, we are not dissing Thomas today. I don't care that the concept is a little weird, okay? The execution, perfect.
Okay, and I mean, we've never seen any episodes of John Dillermand, so we can't really say much. Yeah. All we can say is that the concept of this is equally, if not way more weird.
All right.
I didn't see that because I was looking at the notes, and frankly, I'm happy I didn't. But yeah, let's get into our let's get into our more serious what the fuck is going on topics here. Then we can do some more Ben Shapiro shitting. So, from Pink News, which is a queer news outlet, feel free to go support it. It's great. Republicans fail in desperate bid to force through transphobic sports ban here in Louisiana.
Personally, I don't get why are they trying to stop trans athletes from playing? Like, doesn't estrogen weaken you to make you more on a level player?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
It actually does. But here's the thing: they don't actually give a shit about women's sports. It is a cheap political move because they know trans people are an easy group to attack. They just can, and they can say, gender change, woman have penis, icky, and won't get much blowback for it, even though they absolutely should. And it just sucks. It really sucks. But I'm happy that in Louisiana, because what happened in Louisiana, and I know a bit about this because I live here and I know the politics here. This bitch named Mizell, she's from the middle of fucking nowhere. Like out in the swamp in some place. She proposed this transphobic sports ban, and it got through the House, got through the Senate, but our governor, who's a Democrat, Mizell's Republican, our governor's a Democrat, basically the only Democrat governor in the Deep South. He vetoed it because he knew progressives already didn't like him and that he would absolutely, completely lose them if he signed it. And it's morally wrong. The bill is morally wrong.
He probably just did it for that progressive reason. Politicians don't do good things out of the kindness of their heart.
Yeah, they usually don't.
They always don't.
But there are like a few good politicians, Bernie, AOC, Ilhan Omar, and they will never be on this show, but I really want them to be.
That'd be legendary if we could get any of them on, though.
The Republicans basically tried. They had a special legislative session. Like all the people went back to their districts, went back home. The Mizell bitch went back to her corner, wherever in the swamp. But then they called everybody back to see if they could get enough votes because, they took everyone away from their families just to be transphobic.
Woo!
Woo!
Yep, that's Republicans
Power.
in a nutshell for you, folks.
Yep, they took everyone away from their families just to be transphobic. Just fucking wonderful, but it failed. It failed. It's wonderful. It failed. Trans people can still play sports. If you're trans and you live here in Louisiana,
big W.
Call me and be on the show. That's great. That's just wonderful. And even more good political trans news, because you don't get a lot of that, and we didn't have enough room for it in the wholesome segment. Yes, a judge blocks a cruel Tennessee law forcing businesses to post signs about trans people in bathrooms. So if you don't know, Tennessee had an anti-trans law that made businesses that let trans people piss display a big yellow sign that just basically said, "We let anyone in any bathroom." That's basically what the sign said. And it was big and bold letters, and you had to put it on the front.
Wow.
Yeah, that actually passed. The Tennessee
Lord
governor
forbid
signed
people
it.
are able to use the bathroom?
Yeah, they just want to piss, dude.
Yeah, bro. Just let the man. I honestly, gendered bathroom is one of the dumbest shit ever, dude. Just let.
No, it was made up by the bathroom companies to sell more bathrooms.
For real, dude. It was made the big toilet, dude. Big toilet.
Actually, you know why it was actually invented?
Why?
To keep women out the workforce.
How does that happen? How does that correlate?
Make a workplace with only male bathrooms.
Ah, I see.
I'm serious. That is actually where gendered bathrooms came from. Look it up.
Damn. That's not right.
The whole concept is dumb, But yeah, you had to, but the court said, I mean, I think immediately after it was signed, the ACLU sued them because, of course, they did. They probably had lawyers on standby the second that bill was drafted.
Yeah.
The ACLU was just sitting there like, come on, do it. I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker.
I got the A-team on standby, mijo. You ain't got the cojones.
But, anyways, yeah, the ACLU sued them and won in court. The judge said, let's find the clip here. Oh, this is the executive director of the ACLU in Tennessee, said, quote, "We are glad the court saw that this law is likely unconstitutional and hope the state gives up the wasteful effort to defend discrimination and a violation of the First Amendment."
Yeah.
Which is based.
It's
100% based. True.
That's facts.
That's just great here. Yeah, there's not much else to say about that.
Republicans are constantly bitching about their freedoms, like, "Oh, you can't force me to wear a mask," but yet they're constantly just restricting freedoms of everybody else who isn't them.
Yeah. And now let's get to what we're gonna call the
Ben Shabibo Minute.
Yeah, that. Yeah, the Ben Shabibo Minute. I have to play a short clip. Unfortunately, you will have to hear Ben Shapiro's voice, but tough shit, I guess. We're gonna click this so we can play it. So, yeah, Ben Shapiro reading books, as I alluded to in our introduction here. But, here we go.
I'm a finisher who would go to a party in Harvard Law, and we'd go to a party, and I would bring a book with me, because if people were boring, I was not going to waste the 2 hours just sitting
It's a good time to read.
Yeah, exactly. I got in a lot of good reading at these parties, so...
Wow.
Okay, that's only the first 12 seconds, and that's all I'm going to subject you to.
Thank God.
But, okay, there's a lot to break down here, so let's break this down. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Ben? You know book clubs exist,
Yeah.
right, Ben? Just go to a book club.
Dude, no, that
You
would...
didn't have to go to the party.
Dude, that would require him to have forward thinking, which he does not have. He is incapable of such things.
And how in the fuck did Ben Shapiro... Like, I'm sorry, who got fucked or blackmailed to make sure Ben Shapiro got into Harvard with his dumbass?
Sister! Have you seen his sister, dude? She had to have gotten fucking rawed to get...
This doesn't stay in the...
Yes, it does.
I know we've... No, I hope as sure as fuck this doesn't stay in the edit, but if it does...
I'm putting it in the edit.
You're... So yeah, Ben Shapiro somehow got into Harvard. Just okay, fuck you. Oh, say it. Say it. I know. This been staying in the fucking edit too. Say it.
Dude, Ben Shapiro's sister got raw, dog, for him to get into Harvard.
Abby is how Ben got into Harvard.
Only reason.
Only fully consensually, of course. Jesus, fully consensually, squirrel. Fully, 100%, no exceptions. We're not violating any more YouTube or Patreon or SoundCloud.
Okay. Let's move on to the parties now. So he said that he brought a book. Who is inviting Ben Shapiro to parties anyway? Like, who's out here being like, "Oh yeah, you know who I'm at party? Big John, Big Dream. Ben Shapiro."
Who? Ben Shapiro. By the way, Ben Shapiro's 37, so he would have been in college. He would have been in college about... So he was in college when he said that Israelis like to build and Arabs like to bomb crap and live in sewage. He was in college when he said that. That racist bit of shit. But so yeah, who was inviting Ben Shapiro to parties, for one? Because Ben Shapiro feels like the guy. He seems like the guy who either got bullied way too much or didn't get bullied enough.
He's either the guy that got like bullied a lot, as you said, or he didn't get bullied a lot, but nobody talks to him.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro seems like. I can't even say what he seems like because it just seems so gross. You can see it on my face. I'm just kind of. Like, Ben Shapiro is just. But, yeah, no one was inviting Ben Shapiro to parties. Why would I... Also, Ben, fucking book clubs. You don't go to the book club. You don't go to the party to read. You got the books.
Yeah, but
You got the books at the
Ben
party.
Shapiro isn't smart. He doesn't think like that. All he think of is, ooh, me make everybody else sad because me.
Yeah. And also, Ben, no one's forcing you to go to the party.
Yeah.
If you want to read, just stay home.
Just stay in like your fucking dorm.
Yeah, there was nothing stopping you from staying in your dorm room and reading.
Oh yeah, reading. We all know what you're about to say. Okay. But Ben Shapiro probably joins Tucker Carlson in like their own houses where they each have their own mirror and they jerk off to themselves.
Yeah, to each other. No. Oh no, it's like Nepotus who died staring at himself.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. I think we're gonna close it. So I guess that is it for us today here on the Frogcast. I promise next week we'll have more of our cast members. They just weren't available in the time. We just didn't have the time to do more of our cast members. But yep, future cast members will be on the show soon. Maybe even in the first episode because we might re-record it tomorrow with the cast members. But let's end this. Let's close this off. If we do that, we're gonna have to get new topics. Let's close this off. Have a nice day. Please subscribe to the Clips channel and to this channel. If you like it, if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. Leave a comment. It boosts engagement, even if you hated it.
And our analytics say 0% of the people who watch this is actually subscribed because we haven't posted any videos. So if you could subscribe,
I'll ban you if you finish that sentence. I'll ban you if you finish that sentence.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah. So, anyways, like it if you like it, dislike it if you disliked it. Leave a comment. It boosts engagement. And goodbye.